Hi everybody,
Hi.
this is Mr. and Mrs. Muza.
We'll be taking part in the marriage series, and we'll be just reading the questions as we go along. And we'll start with how long we've been married and where we met and where we're based right now. We've been married for just over 5 years, getting into 6. And we initially met in high school and then rekindled our friendship, which then turned into romance many years later on Facebook, actually. And we're based in Zimbabwe. How do we support each other in our careers? This is the next question.
Well, in our careers, what we do is obviously they're different. I am an engineer and she is an academic. Having different career paths and being married at the same time means we have to make sure that we both get opportunities to do what it is that we want to do. Sometimes I have to take a back seat. Sometimes she has to take a back seat so that the other flourishes. But
Correct.
by and large, we've been working well together so far.
Right. And how do you strike a balance with your different roles, being a couple and working, as well as having to be there for family and friends? I think in our different roles as man and wife, as we came together, we recognized that the one was coming with their friends and family, and the other was doing the same, and we had to converge the two. The process was not easy, but I had to learn and he had to learn that we each had friends and family that were important to us, and if we truly loved each other, we needed to take those people into consideration and to create relationships with them in order for our relationship to flourish. So the friends that he brought into our marriage, I also got the time to know them and to appreciate them. Would you say I answered that correctly?
Oh, yeah. I think you did. You summed it up very well.
Okay. How do you manage the decisions that you make when you have different views?
Oh, we've got a lot of divergent views at times.
Yeah.
And, in the initial stages of our relationship, it was difficult because we're both firstborns, both opinionated.
Oh, very
so
opinionated.
we had some problems there. But what we've learned to do is to communicate. That is one of the biggest things in any relationship. We can agree to disagree now. We can always try and find some middle ground so that we can advance, even if things are not necessarily the way either of us would want. Right. But at the end of the day, we always have to find a way to work it out because we have to live. We still have to move forward.
Yeah. And how do we spend time together as a couple? We love to watch TV. Mm-hmm. We also love to
play games.
We play a lot of games, 30 Seconds, Monopoly. We travel together.
Yeah, road trips, etc., playing music, dancing in the car, taking video clips and all that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. We pray together as well a lot. Every single day we've got devotion, we've got Bible topics that we study, we've got so many things that we do. But our spiritual life is basically a joint thing for us.
Yes, and with regards to our individual interests, we also have those. We allow each other to be individuals in the process. So I like very artsy things like poetry, and I like watching shallow shows like Love is Blind and The Bachelor, which he doesn't enjoy, and he likes watching soccer, which I don't have time for. But yeah. Now, expectations.
I'm a Liverpool fan. Liverpool FC. We're going to take the league this time.
Expectations you had of each other that have changed over time with marriage. Oh boy. We had serious expectations. My husband is a musician, so I thought he'd be like just singing for me and just making me feel special, but that just never really materialized to this day. So what I learned from that is that sometimes we have unrealistic expectations, number one. Number two, we did not marry, we did not marry angels.
Neither did we marry robots.
Yes.
Yeah.
So we try not to have too high expectations for each other, although I believe in him and I believe he believes in me. But we just try to remind each other that we're human and we can't do it all.
The one thing I will say, though, is as a couple, you need to help each other, work on each other, to improve each other. Because the better your person becomes,
Right.
the more you enjoy your relationship and the more you enjoy your marriage.
Yes. And some things we've had to unlearn to make our marriage work, e.g. cultural things that come with our roles.
Yeah, I would say, as I was growing up, as a young boy, turned into a man, there were things that I learned should be done by women. Women have to dress this way, they have to act this way, they have to serve you this way, and you have to do that, and all that kind of thing. But I've realized that in our relationship, we have to be, our own people. Should I say, I have to be my own person, she has to be our own person, and as a couple, we have to do our own thing. So we've had to unlearn some cultural things and we've had to adjust.
Yeah. And share any responsibilities that have come with marriage that you did not have before. Obviously, the family grew, so there are more people to look out for. That was a responsibility that, for instance, I didn't have. And I would say the same for you.
Yeah.
The responsibilities just grow.
Yeah. And I think the biggest responsibility, though, over and above the extended family, is that I'm now taking care of an actual person. I have to take care of their welfare. I have to make sure that they're fed, clothed, they have a roof over their heads, and I have to take care of their emotional needs, their physical needs, everything. It's quite a task.
It is. And how do we work together financially or generally to achieve our goals? Generally, our rules are that we work together in everything, every step of the way.
It wasn't always easy.
In fact, this was a serious point of contention with us, right?
Especially with you.
Yeah. I'm very structured and I think I'm now frugal because I wasn't always frugal. So we would argue a lot, but it has helped us to grow. This is something that I would say couples need to take cognizance of. It is going to happen. People are going to argue. If you're not arguing at any point,
something is wrong.
There is no growth. So that stretching process is really important so that you actually know what you both want.
Yeah.
And how has your spirituality played a role in our marriage and decision making?
This has been the biggest thing.
Yeah.
For anyone out there who's looking to get married, you need to pray for the right partner. And when you're in your marriage, just know that the devil is going to be attacking left, right, and center.
Absolutely.
The devil is going to be trying to tempt you with other women or other men out there.
There'll always be
problems,
somebody better
other
looking
things.
and this and that. So like he's saying.
So you really need to become even more prayerful
Yeah.
in marriage, and you really need to try and live right. That's the only way.
Yeah. And right, how do you deal with issues where extended family has different views that clash with your family decisions?
As a man and as our husband, what we've decided to do is simply make sure that we listen to whatever advice is provided, and we try and make sure that we take it into cognizance. But at the end of the day, we make our decision because we're grown-ups, we're adults.
Yeah. And lastly, advice for those who are dating and married. I'll quickly say that put God first and let Him order your steps. Do not ignore any red flags. Sometimes God has a way of speaking to us and we need to always hear His voice. And what else can I say? In marriage, you need to be able to eat humble pie, and you need to acknowledge that your independence is no longer there.
Yeah.
You work as a team. Codependence is what it becomes. Yeah.
I'll only say, look, for those that are not yet married, do the courtship process. find the right partner. Don't test drive this and test drive that. It doesn't work. It only makes things difficult for you when you're now married. So try and be patient. Make sure that you use your eyes, but especially your knees. You need to pray. The most important thing for any marriage.
Yeah, and also another thing I think that I've learned in marriage is that no single marriage has it all figured out. Learn what you can from other couples. If you're a couple that feels they know it all, you will fall, because while others are growing and learning, you have become stagnant. So learn. Constantly be willing to learn from others. Yeah.
Lovely. Anyway, thank you guys. Appreciate